Welcome back, everybody. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to make a picture frame for this poster, the I Make Man that I bought from Jimmy DiResta. And I'm going to make this as cheaply as I can. I got a $4 piece of pine trim and a $1 picture frame from the Dollar Tree. So we'll see what kind of picture frame we can come up with. Never done this before, so this is kind of a crapshoot. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Alright, so we'll get started tearing apart this picture frame. I ended up using the cardboard from the back just to back the poster, and I chucked the frame. It was $1, so I don't care all that much. Here I'm just measuring out the sides to make sure I got the right height and width for everything. And I used a miter box and just a little miter saw to cut all my 45s for this project. I didn't really feel like using my miter saw for it, because I've never got super accurate 45s with my miter saw, and I just felt like using this for this particular project. So I spent a good amount of time cutting all these up and cutting all my 45s for this. It took me longer than I expected, and I only showed you guys a little bit of it sped up here, but I think the miters turned out pretty nicely though. Right here I'm just checking my sizing, make sure there's still enough space for the poster to fit in. I'm satisfied with that, so I'm going to move ahead and draw a center line down the middle and take it over to the table saw with a piece of laminate clamped down to the top to block the gap around the blade so that the pieces don't fall into the blade, and the gap around it. Just cut the grooves to accept the glass, and then right there fit pretty good. I did have to try several times to get that to line up properly. Wasn't happy with it, probably 4 times, but ended up getting it right. I went ahead and glued and brad nailed this whole thing together, just using the very large square and the edge of my table to make sure I was all lined up on everything. Alright, so it's about here that I decided I need a little bit of visual interest on the front. So I took a 1/4" Forstner bit and drilled a few holes, and then knocked some dowel rod, 1/4" dowel rod into it just to give it a little bit of texture on the front. And I think it turned out pretty good. The finished product, it's pretty low key, but it is enough for what I wanted it to be, and I was happy with it. And now it's time for everybody's favorite part, the sanding portion of the video. I personally really like to sand because I like seeing something rough and taking it and removing the material that is ugly and making something nice, or making something look nicer. But I really hate the dust portion of the sanding because I do not have a proper dust collection set up in my basement, and then when I'm done, my basement's a disaster. When it's nice outside, I sand on the back porch, or I sand in the garage, but I do not like sanding in the basement unless it is hand sanding, like right here. Using a power sander is terrible. So after I was finished sanding, I went and slapped on a coat of, I believe this was the gunstock brown stain onto the frame. This turned out to be a lot messier than I thought it was going to be, because it got on the glass and it was a lot harder to get off the glass than I thought it was. I ended up having to use a scraper and paint thinner, but it came out alright. I didn't do this super well, and that was kind of by design. I wanted it to be more rustic than it would have been had I stained it, several times and properly and all that kind of stuff. So I just went for the quick and rough stain, and I like how it turned out. I think it fit the area that I was going to put it, and I just didn't want something that was super pretty and perfect, because if I wanted that I could have just bought it. So what I'm going to do to hang this up on the wall is I got a package of eye hooks, a package of very small gauge wire. I'm just going to put 2 eye hooks in on one on either side, and then take a length of the wire and then use my drill to twist it to make a braided cable, because it was a lot cheaper to buy a 100-foot spool of this and twist it myself than it was to buy the pre-braided stuff. And I am cheap, so I thought this worked out fairly well. I've done it several times before and I've never had any issues with it. As we're coming up on the end of this project, I just wanted to thank you all for watching. I really enjoyed this project. It's been something I've been meaning to do for a while. I bought that poster longer than I would like to say ago, and it's been sitting in its envelope since I got it and waiting for me to do this. And I really like the way it turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for future videos or things that you think I could have done better on this, please let me know. I'd love the feedback. And once again, thank you all for watching. Bye.